my name is Josephine. Welcome to Pointed Logic Tarot. This is going to be a video response to Codi at Tarot Readings from a Bitch. I really love her videos and have enjoyed her channel for quite a long time. And she recently put out a video that was titled something to the effect of decks that I wish had keywords, and they were specifically oracle decks. And it got me thinking about, I have a really limited number of oracle decks. Some of them have keywords and some of them don't, that I wish they did. So this is a video response to that, but also it's going to feature the Seed and Sickle Oracle, which is one that Codi talked about too, because I recently remedied this deck, at least for me, and I use it a ton more now. So I'll start with that and show what I did and how I sort of made it into a deck study. I also do want to say I agree with you, Codi, about these kind of ridiculous boxes. My solution, at least for the box itself, is I took out the little cardboard piece. I think that's just for shipping. And then I put one book on either side, and that holds the cards in place. But after you add keywords to them, you honestly can, if you're not a big fan of the books, set those aside and just give it a bag to live in, because then it operates great. So this deck is, I think, 55 cards, and it originally just had no keywords and it had art. And it comes with two different guidebooks, the Dawn guidebook and the Dusk guidebook. In the guidebook, it does have a quick reference guide with sort of keywords, sometimes statements about the cards, and they differ quite dramatically between the two. The Dawn guidebook is supposed to be for projects, like getting your day started, sort of inspiration kind of things, fresh start. And then this is supposed to be a self-improvement, introspection, kind of end of the day sort of keywords. The deck is also divided up into 4 suits: spring, summer, fall, and winter. And those are depicted with these tiny little icons next to the number. So this is the image for spring, the image for summer, which I feel is pretty similar, the image for autumn, and then the image for winter is actually more recognizable to me because it looks kind of like a little snowflake. I also edged this. I don't have, okay, well, let me back up. So I don't have markers. I don't really use markers to color with or anything, so I didn't really want to get them just for deck modification. So I used a colored pencil, and it kind of wears as you use it, but I think it gives it a really cool worn look. I also bought this deck used for like $8, and it was in really good condition. Like, it's a little bit worn. The edges were a little bit tattered from just lots of shuffling, and I felt like covering it with a little golden colored pencil also helped cover up the majority of those scuffs. Okay, so to the modification that I did on the keywords. What I did was I went through and noted the sort of the theme of each card in both books and picked one word for the Dawn book and one word for the Dusk book that I felt captured sort of what it was describing here. Some of them kind of repeated themselves, which was a little bit annoying. And to sort of address that, I would then go deeper into that, read the description, and sort of think, okay, what advice, what word would I pull out of this if I was journaling on this advice? And I made a set of words for each, and then I looked through to make sure none of the cards had duplicate keywords that I had chosen or come up with. Some of them did, so I had to then go back and tweak it just a little bit because I didn't want any repeating themes. And then what I ended up choosing to write on these cards, because the one reason I was really hesitant in general to put keywords on this card is because there isn't a nice white border or anything with margins for you to sort of tuck your keywords in. So you need to put it directly on the art, and I was like worried my handwriting would make it look really horrible. So what I ended up getting were these nifty little paint pens. And they were like $12. And you could just buy one. If you buy the white paint pen, it will show up pretty much on most cards. Or something I discovered as I was experimenting with this, if you get a metallic paint pen like a silver, it almost is invisible on the card until you tilt it in the light. So if you really want to write something on here and you don't want to impede the artwork, it was really cool how those turned out. I also kind of felt comfortable experimenting on this deck because, again, I bought it used for like $8, so I wasn't like super hurt. But the paint pens they're kind of like markers. They're felt tip. Oh, and it even comes with instructions here. They're the kind with the little shaker guy. You shake it up to get the ink mixed, and then you just get some scrap paper and you press down until the paint starts to come out of the pen, and you write it on the scratch paper until you get the thickness of the line you want. And I bought fine tip, and then you just write real careful and real small. And I discovered that alcohol wipes took it off when I messed it up. If I misspelled it or I smudged it, I would just wipe it off with alcohol, little like isopropyl alcohol wipes, and let it dry, and then try again. So I used almost all the colors because what I was trying to do was blend the markers in with the art on the card. So I'm going to do a flip through, and you can, like, if you have this deck and you want to use the same keywords, I like them. You can also tweak them. Feel free. But I thought it might be kind of fun to do a quick flip through so you don't have to go through the hassle of making a whole list of keywords from each guidebook. But this way you can dig into a deeper message if you want, but you can also like pull this out more easily in a reading, and you don't have to store it with all of the hassle of the box, and you can just go with it. So let's see here. I think what I'll do is I'll actually lift it up. I'm still sorting out my tripod and camera situation because I'm just using my phone to film. So all the dawn keywords that I chose are on the top of the card, and all of the dusk ones are on the bottom of the card. Like Cody mentioned, they're not really reversals. They're sometimes similar themes. Sometimes they seem kind of different, but it's just another aspect of the plant. And when you read deeper into the guidebook, you can sort of see where they're coming from on that. Regardless, let's get through. So the seed I chose potential and contained. And most of the cards, I used keywords that were in the quick guide, but some of them I didn't like those keywords, or they didn't quite capture what I wanted, or they were repeating themes. So some of them are my own keywords. Most of them are right out of the book. Birch, community, determined. Lily of the Valley, caution, ambition. This is one of the metallic markers. Bracken, perceptive, invisible. Wisteria, reconcile and trust. Here's another one. Like, look at how you can hardly see it, and then you turn in, it really pops. So in person, it's actually pretty easy to read them, but on camera or when you have them all in a spread, it's really not intrusive on the artwork. And some of them I do feel like the color I chose wasn't perfect, but it was an experiment. I enjoyed my experiment. Buttercup, inspire, delay. Poppy, momentum, resolution. Cherry, productive, balance. Magnolia, planning, endurance. And the other thing with these is you can choose to incorporate both keywords. You can pick just one because they are kind of variable in what they cover. Chickweed, results and appreciation. Jasmine, judgment, hope. Cornflower, worthy, unique. Pimpernel, decisive, crossroads. Oak, humility, courage. Here's another metallic one. Tulip, bold, strategic. Moonwort, nostalgia, subtlety. Oh no, I always chuckle when I see tarot tube friends messing up the cards like this, and then now I'm doing it. Lavender, appearance, solace. Bluebell, meticulous, appeal. Foxglove, wisdom, identity. Clover, creativity, fortune. This is one where I think I should have chosen a different color marker because it's a little bit hard to read because that green does not pop. Belladonna, sacrifice, guardian. Rowan, tenacity, muse. Clematis, support, release. Willow, flexibility, learn. Basil, journey, growth. Daisy, rekindle, rebirth. Hops, swift, recover. Hawthorn, history, meditation. Feverfew, preservation, nurture. Mustard, details, strength. Asphodel, culmination, wanderlust. Mushroom, compromise, experience. Oleander, costly, uncertain. Dandelion, choice, unexpected. Elder, focus, opportunity. I actually think these might be the favorite color. So this is a gold marker, and I just think it looks so cool. You know, it's not intrusive on the art, but it's still clear, easy to read, and it's really like pretty. You can't even feel it on the. I like these paint pens. It's kind of fun. Ivy, persistence, tenacity. Ragwort, appreciation, regret. Thistle, frustration, provide. Crocus, will, assertive. Strawberry, adjust, generous. Blackthorn, hubris, hidden. Rose, serendipity, secrecy. Verbena, sincerity, repair. Alder, challenge, partnership. Bramble, forethought, vulnerable. Citrus, empower, clean. Aconite, skills, difficulty. Holly, direction, grounding. Mistletoe, promise, peace. Chamomile, companionship, rest. Mandrake, vision, measured. Henbane, forward, forgiveness. Datura, shift, dream. Apple, setback, closure. And finally, the sickle, finality and harvest. Okay, now I'm going to give them a quick shuffle and show you what they look like on the table this way. And then finally, I do want to talk about a few other decks that I own that I'm debating if I want to try out the paint pens on. Decks that I think, like Cody mentioned, really would do better with keywords. The other thing that I do with this deck is I also have associations with tarot and the seasons, and because this has 4 suits and 4 that are seasonal, I associate them like on theme the same way you would do with a tarot deck. So you can use the keywords, but then additionally, we have in this 6-card spread here 3 summer cards, 1 spring card, 1 winter card, and 1 autumn card. And so you can sort of, with spring, I associate it with cups and the emotions, and then you can lean into that when you do your reading as well. So that's another way to use this deck without having to rely too heavily on the guidebook. So that's the Seed and Sickle Oracle, and I'm really happy with my modification to it. Okay, so there's a couple of other decks I have here, and the reason I haven't modified them is they're indie. So first we're going to look at the Great Lakes Oracle. This by far is the worst shuffler I have because these are absolutely freaking massive cards, and they're stiff as a board. I grew up on the Great Lakes, and it's really, really special place to me. I still live in a Great Lakes state in the U.S., and I wish that I lived closely, because I used to be able to just go down to the beach, 20 minutes from my home. So this book does have keywords, but only in the guidebook, and then a little message, and then an affirmation for each card. But as you can see, although it's beautiful, no keywords. So you have to really know Sleeping Bear Dunes, the Edmund Fitzgerald, Copper, Forget-Me-Nots, Pictured Rocks. I do have associations to these places because, again, I grew up in Michigan. But I do often use this and refer to the guidebook. But look at the size of these cards. I think Seed and Sickle is standard tarot sized. These are big, and they're also super thick. So the only way you can shuffle them is kind of like this. They're just humongous, and they're really, really stiff. I think it's a deck of 52, I want to say. I'm actually not positive. It says, oh, only 42. Yeah, so it's also not a ton of cards. I will say, I really only use this deck when I'm homesick, or maybe in the summer, or on vacation. But, like, I've been there, so I have a feeling associated with this place. I've been here. These are an invasive species that are a pain in the butt. So, like, I have some associations with these. And they are lovely. So, I'm debating, because I do have some associations, because it's an indie deck that's hard to find, because it's special, I'm not certain I want to, quote-unquote, spoil it with keywords. But they would be nice and easy to fit in the margins in tiny writing. The next deck I want to show is Open Portals, which is it's a playing card deck, actually. It's by this James R. Eads, same person who did Cosmovisions and who did the Green Glyphs series and several other decks. It has a pamphlet, and they do have keywords, sort of. You'll see up in the corner, victory, patience, luck. But some of them do repeat, even though there's only 52 cards. It's a really cool deck. It also comes with a game. It's beautiful. But some of the concepts are a little bit hard. So this is Portal for the Time Loop. God of time, God of dreams, God of synchronicity, portal for the philosopher. So this is a deck that you either have to apply your cartomancy skills for playing cards to. So what does the Five of Hearts mean to you? What does the Two of Spades mean? Portal for the desert. Or you have to use the pamphlet that it comes with. I'm debating whether or not I want to put keywords on this. I am learning cartomancy, and I've gotten pretty good with a regular old deck of playing cards. And Krista from Anti-K's Tarot is coming out with the Back Pocket Oracle, which is a playing card deck that will have keywords. So I'm thinking I might just, use that. I have other decks of playing cards that I could write keywords on, and this one's kind of special. So I'm debating whether or not I want to write keywords on this. But it is a deck I think that would benefit from having keywords. So those are the two. And then I don't have a deck to show, but another deck series that I really would love a version of with keywords, and I don't own because of how it's currently arranged, is the Seasons of the Witch Oracle series. I think they're beautiful. They're right in line with my love of seasonality. But there's a few different inconsistencies with the series that make me hesitate. I don't really like the spells or incantations, I think they're called, on the first couple of decks, especially because of the way they use thee and thou or thy. They're not using it correctly, and it's kind of a pain to read. They changed that in the following with just a little phrase, and those phrases aren't as bad, but I do feel like just watching some of the flip throughs that the phrases are limiting. And I would rather have a couple of keywords because then I can be a little more flexible with the card. It has a card title on the images, and those are not as easy to use. Some of them are more keyword-like than others. They're also, the artist changed partway through. I like the second artist more. So I have been watching that series. I've been tempted by some of the decks, but I haven't pulled the trigger on any of them. Wouldn't it be so cool if they came out with a full box set of pocket versions, but with keywords? That's like my dream for that Oracle series. The creators are also coming out with a tarot in the future, so I'm kind of just like holding out for that because I use tarot more than Oracle anyway. I hope you enjoyed. So I'll just put these here. Thank you so much. And thank you to Codi at Tarot Readings from a Bitch for coming up with this topic to talk about in the first place. So these are the 3 decks that I have that are Oracle decks that I really think would benefit from keywords, and I went ahead and added keywords to the Seed and Sickle and am enjoying them quite a bit. Also, if you want to see more from me, I have a Ko-fi that you can book a reading with me. I have some monthly readings, weekly readings. I also have more in-depth readings. I also have a monthly subscription where you can get a month ahead reading from me at the end of every month for the next month. And I link to my Instagram and other posts and conversations, and would love to see you over there to talk more tarot. Thanks for catching up with me on this one, and I hope to see you next time.